everybody, Chris here from Tiny Home Tours and the Off-Grid Schoolie. Today's video features Michelle. She is moving into her camper van to essentially escape San Diego rent. Also, she's shifting careers. She currently does neurological research. She decided to go back to school for product design. She's coming out with her own app. To help with the transition, she actually purchased a camper van, and she's living in the camper van full-time later this month to help her save money and pursue her new career. I hope you enjoy the video. Also, the Nest bedding mattress giveaway. I sent an email to the winner, TT Lane, so be sure to check your inbox. If that's your email, you'll have 1 week to reply to me with your shipping address. We'll get that out to you. If not, we're gonna redraw. So I appreciate all of you out there. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Hi, my name's Michelle. This is my new van. Not quite named yet. Might call it Dan the van, or Roman, because I'm gonna be Roman with Roman. I decided that I really wanted this lifestyle after I started rock climbing. I met a wonderful community and realized how happy I am in the outdoors. And so I made a couple moves to change things in my life. I went back to school to become a UX designer, which I'm really excited about, and that also provides the opportunity for a lot of remote work. And so I have this wonderful van, and I'm gonna follow the climbing season, climb a lot, and work out of the van. So this is the kitchen set up here. I've really got all the storage that I need. The most recent addition was the produce hammock, and I've got a mix of fruits and vegetables in there right now that may or may not get along with each other depending on the off-gassing, so I might find a new place for some of them. Over here I've got a very deep sink. It actually used to be a bar sink, and it has this drying rack that fits right into it. If it fits, it sits. I'm very happy with the size of the sink. The thing that I might try to fix is the way the water comes out of the faucet. So right now it's just a push, and most of the water comes out as the lever is raising back up again. But when I'm washing dishes right about at the sink level, water goes everywhere. So I make sure to dry it off afterwards, because I haven't added more sealant to this, but definitely protecting the wood and then adding something just to lower this is high on the list. The faucet seems to be a little bit more style than function, but water comes out, which means it works. This actually it closes, it works like any valve. It'll completely close the water, but since water doesn't come out unless I push on the lever, it's unnecessary. But it does provide an opportunity to add an electric faucet in the future if I want to do that. The foot pump doesn't bother me at all, and I think that it just helps save water. The only issue is that it comes out everywhere, so if I have my toothbrush and I'm just trying to get water right on my toothbrush, I don't know where the water is about to come out. So in that case, maybe I use a little bit more water. Under the sink, I have 6 gallons of fresh water and 6 gallons of gray water. It's a pretty easy setup here. You can see it's going from the foot pump at the bottom, pulling water from the fresh, which is in the back, going up to the sink, and then it just comes down in the gray water. And I've got my trash can right next to it, so I just pull out of the gray water and throw the tube in there, so I don't have any water dripping around while I change the buckets. And they're both tied down with bungee cords that go around either side of them and hook into just these little eyelet hooks that are going directly into the ground. So since I haven't started living full-time in the van, I don't have a great estimate of that, but with the foot pump, it seems like it lasts pretty long. And then I have another 6-water tank that's just sitting in the back. I need extra water. I have 3 drawers right here, and they all slide out on just a single slide at the bottom. Most drawers have ones on the side here, and that works just fine. I've got silverware, tools, and it seems pretty sturdy. I use these little wood dowels to close the drawers when I'm driving. So it just takes kind of a little bit of finagling to get it into the hole that goes in the drawer. And that's a great solution for now, but we all know one or all of those are going to break pretty soon. So I've just been brainstorming other solutions, and since I love climbing so much and I want to start integrating it into the van a little more, I've had my eye out for old cams that are no longer safe to use, and I think I'll attach one here and it'll just hold the drawer and I'll move it when I want to open the drawer. But with these three here for kind of tools and cutlery, dishware, and then cookware, I have everything I need. I keep my stove just underneath this kitchen area, and I have had things fly at me while I'm driving. I wonder how many times that has to happen before I learn. This has not been one of them. I realize it's on the ground, it's not going to hit me, but I haven't heard it moving around. This is just single burner stove. It works with butane or propane. I like that it's not integrated into the kitchen because I love cooking outside, and this gives me the freedom to move indoor outdoor. My only qualm with it is that it's just the single tank, and just buying those over and over again is more expensive, but mostly it's more wasteful. So I'd like to put a propane tank in the back and use that most of the time. And I already have the cord to set that up. This works great. Not great at simmering, but that's okay. I wish I had a little bit more counter space, because if you see, this is right here. I don't really have room for cutting. I got a cutting board that I can fit in here, but I have plans to add kind of a makeshift swivel table that I might just attach over on this side or over on my fridge. So over here, I've got my spice rack / music station that's working quite well for me. I've got this tree that isn't integral for the structural integrity of the van, but really adds some nice character, as well as the perfect place to put my keys. So I'm pretty happy with this. I've got my cabinetry up top. It goes the length of the van, and it's just super easy slides here. I was worried that the ocean on that side and the mountains over here were gonna restrict access, but you just put things in based on how frequently you get to them. This whole top part I really enjoy, and then my plan is to put all of my books up here, because when cutting down items in my life, it's been really easy, but there are some books that I just really want to keep with me. So it'll just be putting in a couple little eye hooks here just so that they don't fall out while I'm driving. So in the upper cabinets above the sink, above the kitchen, I have my dry food items. I have a jet boil just because it's quicker and easier than setting up the stove every morning. You know, just AeroPress, cups, dry goods, grains, and all that. I'll probably add kind of another shelf so that I can store more things there. Or I've seen a lot of people who have mason jars and attach the lid to the top and screw and unscrew, and so I might just throw some up top here. So my knife rack lives here, and I've heard that some people are concerned about knives just sitting behind the driver's seat, but they're on here pretty hard, and I've had to brake quickly and nothing happens, and I trust gravity, and I think they'll just fall in the sink. But if I was doing something really gnarly, I'd probably secure them. I do have a paper towel holder here, which is handy, although I don't seem to use too many paper towels. And this mirror came with the van, which seems great, but I'm too short for it. So it does tilt down, but you know, trying to look up in a mirror doesn't really provide the mirror experience that I don't really need anyway. Yeah. To finish up the kitchen, I'd like to point out the fridge that lives just under here. It's the CFX 50 Dometic fridge, and it has all the space I need. It's just a single zone, so it can either be fridge or a freezer, and that has worked out just fine for me. I've also got a fuse box in there, and that's kind of the the center of everything. The rest of the batteries and the inverter all live in the back. I haven't tested it out in this van. Before I had this, I had a Toyota Highlander, and I ripped out the back seats and built a bed that converted into a sofa, and it had a little slide table that came out, and I had a Yeti cooler that kept stuff cold for very long. And I went to the store maybe every other week and, you know, just ate lots of fresh produce one week, and then the next week it was adding more dried stuff and more grains into my diet. But I wasn't that far from civilization, so that worked. And since this is a lot bigger, I imagine that's gonna last longer, and I don't need to be filling it up with ice, which is great. Yeah, so I have 300 watts of solar panels on the roof. They are 3 panels that have 100 watts each, and they're all mounted on racks that are on the roof and off to one side. So that leaves the rest of the roof space up here to hang out on, clean the panels. And something really cool with the design that I appreciated is that there's only one hole in the van, and that's for the fan. Now, this is the Max Air 10-speed fan, goes in and out, but all of the wiring for the solar panels go in through the box for the rear view camera. So it just seems like less penetrating into the vehicle causes less potential issues in the future. I didn't design it like that, but I appreciate it for sure. And then my batteries are stored in the garage, just behind the fridge area. They're AGM batteries, and they're all in their own box with motorcycle tie downs, so they don't move around. I can shove things in the back without worrying about disturbing them. The whole door right here is a blackboard. So I got the fancy blackboard pen marker things, and it works out great because I'm someone who makes erratic notes and draws on mirrors, and I'm just kind of always writing things down. It would probably be more organized on a computer, but that's kind of just my brain splashing onto the side of the door, and I've enjoyed that quite a bit. So just above the door, I have just a little bit of extra storage space. That's good for toiletries, sunscreen, small items. And there's 2 whale tail hooks on either side. I have some climbing gear here for now, just because I want it inside the van with me. Headlamps, stuff that I want to access quickly. And then behind these, I've got these 2 Goal Zero chandeliers that have 2 levels of light. And in addition to having one on either side of the door, I have 2 under the sink, and then 2 at the end of the bed. The lights are pretty nice. I have these 3 lights in the ceiling that are all dimmable right here. And it can be very bright in here at nighttime. And the dimming is nice, but this gives kind of different ambiance with the lower lights. And then again, setting the different levels of lights allows you to control the mood. The storage under the bed provides a lot more space than I think I'm going to end up needing, actually. I've got 2 drawers here. As you can see, they go back pretty deep. My plan is now to keep my clothes in one of these drawers, because grabbing something up from here and needing to climb up on the bed has proven to just be a climb that I don't want to do. I've got the second drawer, which is identical, slides out, same amount of space, and they are both closed with this knob here so that they don't come out. I'm very happy with the bed setup as it is. This is my first van, and I think that I have watched every single second van build video on YouTube in preparation for this, because I wanted to really learn about what people wanted to change about their van. And really the main takeaway was a stationary bed. I liked that idea anyway. If I'm getting an alpine start one morning, I don't really want to turn the bed into a sofa. So I'm very happy with the stationary bed. Because this is a ProMaster, it's a bit wider. So this is a full-sized full bed. So I've got 6 feet and 3 inches across the van. And really what made that possible was the addition of the carpet on the walls here. So if you can see the kind of grooves of the ribs of the van itself. And it seems like a lot of people spend a lot of time on the insulation part, which is fantastic and is something that wasn't as high of a priority, but I'm not going to be in snowy climates. So adding the carpet allows the couple extra inches on either side. Actually, the last feature about the bed that I really enjoy is the addition of the heated blanket that I just put on. I've got one more 12-volt right behind the bed, and so I can just hook that in, heat up the whole bed. Pre-warming is the key. But as I was mentioning earlier, the cabinetry goes all the way down the van, and you can see the ocean being represented over here. And right now I'm using this whole thing as clothes storage, but since it is not always ideal to jump up on the bed to grab something quickly, I think this is going to end up being more of a miscellaneous tool cabinet, and my clothes will make their way down into one of these drawers. So just behind the bed is this insulated drop-down sheet. It's just got these Velcro strips right here that I pull down, and it covers the back windows at night. The tie-dye will be one of the first visual changes that I make in the van. I bought gray fabric, thinking that, oh, it'll match this, and my mom said no. So I'm gonna rely on her and my grandmother's design expertise to tell me what color to put there. So just above the cab, I have a bunch of storage space that just comes standard with the ProMaster. Yeah. I haven't put anything up here yet, but it just houses the curtains. So these pull down. I've got two on this side and then two that pull over from here. It works quite well blocking the light out for when I'm sleeping, but I have walked around the van and seen a little bit of light that peeks out through here. So moving this cord up a little bit will be an upgrade that I make. I've also been considering getting just thicker insulated curtains to keep me a little bit warmer. And up here also lives my fly screen. And this is just one that has magnets down the middle. So it opens and closes very easily and hooks on with the Velcro that goes all the way around the door. And it doesn't stay on permanently because I'm not always in buggy areas, and it just is pretty easy to put on and off. And I enjoy ripping it off of the Velcro when I'm done. So that's a big bonus. Okay, this is my garage. Right now it's not fully packed. I just have the essentials, which for me is a whole bunch of climbing gear and a couple jackets. I'm a finely tuned Southern Californian weather wimp, so I try to be prepared. If you couldn't tell from the heated blanket, the cord of which has been living here and just attaches into the 12-volt whenever I get chilly. Behind the clothes is the meat and potatoes of the vehicle in terms of living off-grid and powering everything I need, which really isn't that much. It's the fridge, the lights, and charging my laptop and phone. Aside from that, I have the propane stove and don't have a need for many other electronics. I do have the 1500 watt inverter and a power station here so that I can hook into shore power. And my plan is to get a small inverter that I can plug into the 12-volt of the van, run this cord through the van while I'm driving, and charge my batteries on overcast days. I'm very happy with the amount of storage. I'm thinking about one of the upgrades being a toilet. I prefer the composting toilet idea and the more and more I learn about them, the easier it seems to make myself. So my plan would be to store it under the bed with a drawer that I could open and pull the toilet out when I need it, and then push it back in. And that would still leave me with tons of garage space. I've got the ladder, which is fun to play on and provides access to the roof. Up on the roof, as I mentioned before, are the solar panels off on the right side. And this is a Wii Boost that increases my cell signal when I need it and allows me to get work done. This is my 2014 1500 Ram ProMaster. It's been a joy to drive. I have forgotten how big it is sometimes because it's been quite zippy. There have been multiple times where I prepare for a 3-point turn and the van just decides, no, I can do it in a U-turn. I wanted to go with a shorter van so that I could fit into normal parking spaces. And if any of you know how horrible Trader Joe's parking lots are, but worth it, I'm happy to report that I can get the van into Trader Joe's parking lots. It doesn't seem to bother too many other people. But I am here in beautiful California, where I was born and raised, at the first weekend-long van life gathering, and I'm very happy to be here. So I have driven the van a little over 1,000 miles at this point, out to Joshua Tree, up here to Kern County, and I've been using it as my daily driver, so I think I have a pretty good understanding of the gas mileage at this point. It's between 15 and 17 combination city and highway. The backup noises really help. It's got this kind of heart monitor type backup noise, and so when I get close to something it goes beep, 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 and that's when I stop because, you know, that's death. And I haven't hit anything and don't plan to because the backup camera really helps. I've never driven a car with a backup camera and I see what all the talk is about. Great, well, thanks for checking out my van. My name is Michelle. My Instagram handle is Michelle with 2 L's _ MAILE. Just my name. And I would like to mention the app that I'm working on. It's called Outsmart. It's a wilderness first response app, and it doesn't take the place of real medical help, but it helps you in the situation before first responders can arrive. So if you're out in the backcountry, you don't know what to do, you don't know what not to do, Outsmart will be there to help you throughout the whole process, including information, note-taking, and hopefully just someone else there with you. So that is being developed right now, but please keep in touch and check out the links below.